Dr. Mel again. We are doing physics, and now we are going to do an example with the graphs that we completed in a previous lesson. So let's have a look at graphs. The summary of graphs says when you are in a position time graph, have a look at the three different position time graphs. I can actually draw from the data that I have there a velocity time graph. Can you recall how do I get the velocity from a position time graph? Remember, we took the gradient. The gradient of the position time, the change in y over the change in x to get the velocity. So you'll see that it won't have any gradient, therefore the velocity is actually 0. This line will have a gradient, and I can actually calculate the gradient, and it will be a constant velocity. And because this is changing, I can actually work out the gradient there, and therefore the velocity is increasing. Now let's have a look at the velocity graphs. This one didn't have any gradient. This one will also not have a gradient. And from there, I can go to the acceleration. The acceleration from a velocity graph is the gradient. This one will have no acceleration. That one will have no acceleration. And the gradient of this line will give me this acceleration. Now let's quickly go back. What did we say will we get if we work out the area beneath the acceleration time graph? Well, the area beneath the acceleration time graph will be length times breadth, and that will give me the velocity. The area under a velocity time graph will give me the position. So I can work with gradients and I can work with area. Now let's have a look at an example. One of the questions that was put in one of the exams was the engineers at a car company conduct various tests on their cars. During one of these tests, they measure the change in position. So change in position already says to you, I'm going to have the first graphs. And they took equal time intervals. Now they plotted this in a table, so you have time in that column and position in that column. Let's quickly have a look at the questions they're posing. Firstly, there will be a theory question, and in each question in physics as well as chemistry, the first question will be a theory question. Give the correct term and then they ask the question. Secondly, in terms of the columns that you have above, give the independent and dependent variable. Then they say, take the table and draw a position time graph. Then they ask you to do something with that graph, in this case, the gradient. Then they ask you to draw a velocity time graph from a position time graph. And finally, deduce the magnitude of the acceleration. So let's go ahead and answer the questions. So the first question was, give the correct term for the change in position. The change in the position will be something like that, per unit time. And we know that will be velocity. And the actual correct answer will be the average velocity. So make sure that you know your theory so that you can get all your marks. Secondly, they asked me, what will be the independent variable? Then you have a look at your table and you see time will be carrying on 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds independent of what you are doing. So the independent variable will be the time, and what will be dependent on the time will be the position. So this will be position. So you already have a few marks without really applying the graph calculations. So let's do that now. In the second question, sorry, it's the third question, they asked me to draw an accurate position time graph. Now remember, in the previous set, we actually got all the information to draw the graph. We had 0 seconds and 0 meters. So if we draw our graph, we will have our first point there, 0 seconds in 0 meters. Let's go back. In the first second, it had covered 5 meters. So I'll have to go back and say, let's change the scale. 5 meters in the first second. Let's go back. In the second second, 10 meters. So let's change that one to 10 meters in the second. So you'll have your point there. Make sure that you really put points on a graph because you actually get marks for that. Then it's 3 seconds, 15 meters, and 4 seconds, 20 meters. So I just changed the scale on my y-axis and I now have the points, and now you draw your graph with a ruler so that you can actually have an accurate, they said an accurate position time graph. The last hint I want to give you, if you have to draw a graph, always have a heading, a name for the graph. So this one will be the relation between the time and the position. Make sure you've got a name. Make sure you've got a labeled y and x axis in order for you to get all your marks. Let's move on to the next question. From this graph that we drew, they asked me now to determine the gradient. Now remember, your graph is there and you now have to determine your gradient. Let's quickly complete the y-axis, which is different to the one I had. Now, how do we work out gradient? Firstly, you'll get a mark for the equation. The gradient is the delta of the y-axis over the delta of the x-axis. Then you go to your graph and you see I've got y2 in my graph here. I'm going to make that value that one. And I've got y1. I'm going to do that point. That will be over x2 minus x1, and my x will be this point and that point. So let's complete our equation. I've got here y2 as 20 meter. My y1 is 0. My x2 is 4. And my x1 is 0, which will give me a correct answer of 20 divided by 4, 5. Remember, this was meter and this was seconds, so it's 5 meter per second. That was the gradient of the position time graph. The next question say, draw a corresponding velocity time graph. Now, what we did just now was we determined the gradient, and the gradient was the velocity of a position over time graph. And everywhere on this graph, your gradient will be exactly the same. And our answer was 5. Therefore, it will be exactly there at 5. 5 there in 4 seconds. Do you see that point there? So it would be 5 in 1, 5 in 2, 5 in 3. So my gradient then of the position time gives me the velocity. Then they asked me to deduce the magnitude of the acceleration. How do I deduce the magnitude of the velocity time graph? Then I can actually get to the acceleration. So the gradient of the previous graph will give me the acceleration. And the gradient of this line will be absolutely zero. Therefore, this will be zero. So there was no acceleration because it had a constant velocity. Let's recap. Can you determine the gradient of the position time? We did it just now. And we could get the acceleration as well from the gradient. In this exercise and this question, we didn't actually did any area calculations. That will follow in another lesson. I hope you understood how we use the graphs and got the gradients. Bye.